Hello, friends, and welcome to the PowHERful podcast. I'm your host, AJ McCord. In this podcast, we introduce you to powerful women who are changing the game in and outside of their field of play. These are women's stories, women who happen to be doing things that many of us can only dream of, but the lessons and inspiration they share is universal. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the PowHERful podcast. I am your host, AJ McCord, and I am so excited to introduce you to this bundle of joy that is our next guest. Lily Dhawornvej is just 15 years old, and she is pushing women's snowboarding to literal new heights, like in big air, in slopestyle. This girl is on a mission, and she caught up with me in the middle of trying to qualify for her very first Olympics just a few months, 1 month after she qualified for her very first X Games and brought home a medal at X Games Aspen 2025. So I hope you enjoy this episode of the PowHERful podcast. Lily is a joy, and I think it shows it in this podcast. So cannot wait to hear what you think. Thanks for being here. Welcome back to the PowHERful podcast. I am AJ McCord, and I'm so excited because, y'all, I feel like I am introducing you to somebody whose name is going to be a household name within the next few years in women's snowboarding. Lily Dhawornvej is just 15 years old. She's from Frisco, Colorado, right outside of Copper Mountain, where she and I met for the first time as she was trying to qualify for her very first X Games. Spoiler alert, she did. She also won a medal at X Games Aspen 2025 and is currently traveling around the world competing in women's snowboard slopestyle, big air, knuckle huck, anything that is extreme in women's snowboarding. Lily is pushing the envelope at it right here, right now. So Lily, thank you so much for joining the PowHERful podcast. I'm so excited to have you on.
Yeah, me too. I'm super hyped to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay, first and foremost, 15 years old, and yet you are absolutely flying through some of these massive competitions. I was there at Copper Mountain when you qualified for street style for X Games 2025. Tell me what that moment felt like for you.
I feel like the X Games Next X Street Style was definitely a Kickstarter for my career. I feel like it definitely started like everything that like all the invites I got and all the success that came to me in my season.
And it's been such an incredible season. I want to get into some of the things that you have won, some of the things that we want to talk about with women's snowboarding, because when we talk about how much women's sports are growing in every single aspect, the women's snowboarding girlies, y'all are pushing the envelope higher every single time you go off of a jump. But first, take me back to the beginning. How did you start snowboarding, and not just snowboarding, but falling in love with the events of big air, slope style, street style, knuckle huck, all these sort of more free ride?
Yeah, growing up, like my family, all of my family snowboarded, so it was kind of like, wow, that's so cool. I want to do that too. And especially my brother. He also snowboarded, and I really looked up to him for that.
How much older was he than you?
He's 17.
Okay, so he's got a few years on you. What was it like to have an older brother sort of push you, or did he push you in the sport as you were learning it?
I definitely thought that snowboarding was cooler because he did it. So,
And when did you go from, I mean, what was the first age we were on a snowboard?
I started snowboarding at 5 years old, so I've been on a snowboard for about 10 years.
And when did you go from, oh, I really like doing this to, oh, I think I could compete in this?
I mean, I've been doing competition since I was a little grom, so I've been doing it forever, but I feel like the time that I actually felt like I could excel in this was probably like a year ago, honestly.
Wow, so really new. What was that? I mean, so I was a competitive gymnast, so I know what it feels like to be competing in a sport where, so many people are gonna get to know you and they go, 15, wow, that's so young, but you've been working at this for 10 years. You've been wanting to, seeing progress towards making it a career in the last year or so. What was that like for you to feel like, oh, all this work, all this time, yeah, I think I could do this.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I took it as I'm gonna need to work hard, but it's definitely possible.
So then we get to the next X competition in Copper. So for people who don't know what that is, how did you get the invite? What is street style? And what did you do at Copper?
Yeah, I got the invite from my, I'm pretty sure I got it from my points ranking, the world points ranking, which is pretty cool, and I'm glad that I got that opportunity. But uh, in the comp, it was honestly just having fun. It was so fun just hanging out with the girls, and I was super surprised actually that I came out in third.
Yeah, I mean, I'll post the video over this segment of the podcast so people can see. But Lily, you were so excited. It was like, I don't know if I should laugh or if I should cry because it felt like such a massive moment for you. Can you take me back to what it felt like when you heard your name and knew that not only had you taken third place, but that meant that you'd qualified for your very first X Games?
Yeah, that's honestly probably the happiest I've ever been so far. And I just keep remembering that moment and it's just like makes me really happy.
And I think one of the things that I loved, so there's so many cool things about different disciplines in snowboarding, and street style is one that's pretty new to the snowboarding world and certainly new to the X Games as a medal event. But what I loved about it was that it's what's called a jam session, right? So this is where everybody is going one after the other. There's no like stop the, clear the course, do the run. It's kind of like a 20 minutes or 30 minutes, however long, and everybody gets to go one after each other. And it really feels like you're more of all, I mean, you're having a jam session. Like it feels like a bunch of girls are out there on the park in the street style course having a good time together. How did that kind of environment take the pressure off of you?
Yeah, the vibes were definitely very hype. Like it felt like everyone was there to just hang out and like not be so serious about competing, which I loved. I definitely feel like I do better at comps when I'm like having a good time.
Yeah, it's so interesting. We hear so many athletes really start to share that more and more. I'm thinking of even Chloe Kim within a few months ago. She was like, I'm having so much fun snowboarding again. And it feels like when you dedicate so much time to something, it does start to feel like, oh, this is kind of a job, but it's a job that I love, but it's still a job. How do you find the fun in it when you're still, I mean, 15 years old? So many of us were, going for our license and getting into chaos after school. You're out here competing around the world. How do you keep this sport fun?
Yeah, it's definitely like there's an endless possibility of things that you can do and like creativity you could use, which is always so fun. And definitely the people make it fun. The people that are part of the sport, they make it fun.
Tell me more about the creativity aspect of it. Why is that something that keeps you so engaged? And what are the most creative things you've been leaning into?
Yeah, so of course, like you can keep spinning on forever as long as you have the right pop and stuff. But there's also different axes and like different style. Everyone has their own style that you can use to your advantage. And so I really love seeing other people's style and I really would love to build mine more.
How do you build a style? Like, what are you learning about yourself in this year where your snowboarding is not just literally going to new heights? We're going to get to big air, I promise. But you're getting so much more attention. You're getting a chance to have so many more experiences and competitions and develop different tricks and go into the at Woodward at Copper, where you land on the bubble and you get a chance to practice all these tricks. How have you seen your style develop?
I feel like building your style definitely comes with time. Just like keep riding, it'll come to you. It's just what feels right.
What are some of the styles that you aspire after for some of the women that you look up to?
Definitely Mari's. Mari's, especially, I'm gonna shout out one of her tricks, her back 10 Japan, her backside Japan. It's so sick, it's so smooth. And also Mia's tricks, like
Mhm.
they're always so clean.
So how would you describe the style that you're learning about yourself?
Um,
Like if you were like
I definitely,
if you had to put
yeah.
it down on a piece of paper, Lily style is, what are the words that you're writing right now?
I would say clean. Just like
Clean.
smooth tricks. That's what I would
Yeah.
hope for.
Well, I obviously cannot speak to all of your tricks, but from my perspective of getting to watch you in the competitions at X Games, because you qualified in street style, but then you got to compete in knuckle huck, and you ended up taking home your first X Games Aspen medal. It was a bronze medal in knuckle huck, which for people who don't know what knuckle huck is, can you describe it?
Yeah, knuckle huck is pretty much just chucking the biggest tricks you can off a knuckle.
It's creativity in a discipline,
Yeah.
basically. So, how did you approach that competition, and what was the trick that gave you the bronze?
Yeah, I was definitely approaching this comp with just low expectations. I got in on the alternate list, so just looking to have fun. But the trick that I did was, I feel like the best trick I did was a front flip. I guess I'm known for that, but front flip nose grab.
Sick. And that was something that for me, I hadn't seen a knuckle huck competition like live before. And it is so cool to see all the creativity. Like in the men's event, somebody turned their snowboard into a ski setup, which I thought was hilarious. And then, I mean, Zeb is always really exciting. And so when you look around and you're watching, I mean, you and I were in the corral watching some of the competitions go down. What do you feel when you're standing in the corral at X Games Copper knowing, hey, I am competing among these people, but also I want to be a part of so many more events?
Yeah, I feel like just being in the crowd and being in the comp, it's like a similar like environment. I feel like you're hyped for the people that are like landing stuff and like trying new things, and you're also like out there like being hyped for yourself, like and like your other competitors. Like it's just so cool to see people trying these insane tricks.
The energy is unmatched. I mean, both like during the comp and then afterwards. Like X Games Aspen was just a massive party. What was the feeling that you walked away from that event with after competing in it and seeing so many of the men and women that you look up to competing in it?
I definitely felt very accomplished, especially being on the podium with like those girls. Like, what a podium. I'm super proud of that. But I'm also super, like, so happy to, like, watch this, like, all of these people do these creative tricks.
So, Lily, you were talking about the women that you were on the podium with at X Games Aspen for the Knuckle Huck. We have been so inspired by the women of snowboarding this season in particular. It's a qualifying year for Italy, and I feel like y'all are just pushing the envelope every single time you hit the jumps, whether it's big air or slopestyle or knuckle huck or I mean any that the pipe wherever it is. What does it feel like to be a part of this group of women that is shattering our expectations at every competition?
Yeah, I feel like this group of women is really just pushing each other to do better and, like, just push that boundary.
And it's so cool because, I've grown up, obviously I played sports as well, and I've grown up covering women's sports in the last 10, 15 years. But this generation of women, it feels like is so embracing of the reality that we are better when we push each other, but in a healthy competitive way. Like how do you feel about competing against other women in women's sports across all sports, not just snowboarding, but what do you feel like when you like what is your perspective, I guess, on women's sports as a whole right now?
I definitely feel like it's gonna go far, like, for sure. Uh, but like our skill level is pretty the same, like similar to each other, and so I feel like that's really how we push each other.
Is there anybody that you have a healthy competition with right now where you go, "Oh, I know that you're going to make me better," and I absolutely love that about you.
Um,
Or is it just
Definitely,
like everybody?
yeah, definitely all the girls I compete with in the World Cup circuit, they're so amazing, and I look up to them, and they push me to want to do better.
When you say we were pushed to want to do better, what do you like what are you most proud of yourself for in the last year? You said in the last year it's really set in that like, hey, this might be a reality. I could go out and win World Cups. I could go out and win X Games medals. I could qualify for an Olympics. What are you most proud of the way that you have of what you have done or how you have handled this last year in particular?
Yeah, I'm definitely proud of the results I've been getting at these World Cups. But also like how much I progressed since last year. I feel like my progression has really skyrocketed, and I'm super happy that that happened.
So for context, tell me like what you were doing last year compared to what you were doing this year and why that's so different for those of us who, have a hard time conceptualizing all the spins and accesses.
Yeah, last year I'm pretty sure I only landed one back seven out of a lot. So, and this year I'm doing back nines, hopefully some back tens.
It's so good. So good. And it's so cool to see yeah, to see you just crushing it at every single competition. And of course, we're getting ready for Italy. We're less than a year away from the 2026 Olympics, and I know that you got some Olympic hopes and dreams. So walk me through what that looks like for you to pursue that right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to get a spot in the next Olympics. Uh, it's looking pretty hopeful right now, but knock on wood.
What is the thing that, I know you dreamed of X Games medals. I know that I can imagine that Olympics is up there, but what would 7-year-old Lily think right now if she saw 15-year-old Lily?
7-year-old Lily would definitely be uh, very shocked. 7-year-old Lily was definitely very into just having fun during snowboarding and messing around.
When do you think that switched for you and why? Why did it switch from like, hey, I'm just messing around to, oh, I really like competing?
I feel like I've always been a pretty competitive person, but I feel like I really tried to do my best at these comps. I mean, I feel like the switch was kind of always half on, and then I kind of just flipped to myself.
Well, and I think that it makes total sense that it goes from like, oh, this is really fun to like, oh, this is really fun. And also, I could have a totally untraditional, like, high school experience and I could go travel around the world. And that's something that I want to know, like, how are you managing this? Because, again, most of us, right, at 15, we're sophomores in high school and I had class from 7:30 to 3:30 every day. Like, how are you balancing Olympic hopes and dreams and competing around the world with being a 15-year-old that, I don't know, wants to maybe get her learner's permit and like finish high school?
Yeah, I definitely like that I don't have to go to in-person school. I do online school, so it's a little easier for me.
Yeah.
But I love the traveling. So that's a pretty fun experience for me.
Yeah. What is your favorite part about the traveling? Because I assume you guys all travel together.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite part of it?
Going to new places, like trying new food, exploring, like it's always super fun.
And I read a little bit about your family. You told us about your older brother, but I know your parents are also really proud of what you've done so far in snowboarding. Explain to me, yeah, just describe how your parents have supported you throughout this.
Yeah, I mean, they paid for my comps before the US team started supporting me, which I'm always so happy for them for doing that.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom and dad for doing that. But yeah, they've always supported me in doing this.
Were they in the crowd when you qualified for X Games?
Yeah,
What did they
they're
have to
pretty
say?
happy. My mom was crying. She was really happy.
Yeah, I
Uh,
can
but
imagine.
yeah, they were screaming.
If there's something that you want people to know about women's slopestyle or big air, because those are the two disciplines that you're focusing on right now, right? Is slopestyle and big air the World Cups and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the thing that you want people to know about women's slopestyle and big air right now, whether it's the progression or somebody to watch out for, yourself? Like, what is something you want us to know about where Team USA is with women's snowboard, big air, and slopestyle?
Yeah, I definitely feel like anyone could go pretty far. Like, I feel like the sport is at a place that uh, I feel like a lot of people could do well. It's pretty hit or miss, but hopefully I'm up there.
Nice. What is it gonna take for you to get one of the Team USA spots from you?
Um, Definitely a good result. Um, I feel like I have one good result at one of the Olympic qualifiers that we had in Aspen. I got sixth, so hopefully, hopefully I get in.
Just keep building, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. What do you like to do outside of snowboarding? Like if you were to describe, I mean, I know snowboarding takes up a ton of your life, so maybe that's a ridiculous question. But what
Yeah.
do you like to do outside of snowboarding?
I mean, on the team trips, we still do fun stuff. We like to play like soccer, and outside of snowboarding, I love to play pickleball in the summer. That's my
Nice.
favorite.
I like it. Little dual sport athlete coming in hot.
Yeah,
Maybe if pickleball makes it into the Olympics, that would be I have no doubt that you are a very good pickleball player, actually.
I would be very down if they made that an Olympic sport.
That would be so fun. Um, I guess the only question I have left for you, Lily, is I want people to know, like, I think one of the things that I felt from you is just how much pure joy you have for snowboarding, for being your best self, for encouraging the women around you. How would you, like, what do you want people to know if you do make it, let's say you make it to Italy next year in 2026 and people are trying to go, whoa, who is this Lily? What is she about? Why should I root for her? What do you want people to know about who you are as a human being?
It's definitely just about the fun. Like, if you're not having fun, then like I don't feel like I would do well. Like, um, sorry, my mind blanked.
No, it's okay. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great answer
Uh,
because it's one of the first things that I felt from you. Like it
yeah.
truthfully is you could see how much fun you were having in the jam session. You could see how much fun it was for you to qualify for Copper or for X Games at Copper. And I know for me it's been really fun to get to know you a little bit, follow your journey, and I cannot wait to keep doing so. And I hope you make it to 2026.
Yeah, thank you. I also
Yeah.
just like I love meeting all the new people in the sport. Like all these girls are like they stand out so much and it's just super cool to meet all of them.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, we're gonna switch gears now. This next segment is called Something to Sip On. It is brought to you by the Sports Bra, which is a women's sports bar and restaurant in Portland, Oregon. And the week that your episode comes out, they're going to have a mocktail called the Lily, and it's basically just whatever drink you want it to be. So, what is your post comp de-stressing fun drink?
A Shirley Temple.
I love it. That was my go-to after gymnastics meets was a Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then this last segment is called the Powered Up segment. So this is where I ask you rapid fire questions and you just tell me the first thing that comes to mind, okay?
Ooh, oh boy.
You got it. I believe it. This is
Okay.
actually the Pod Squad already knows this, but I'm terrible at short form. Like I want to know all the stories behind everything. So this is also a challenge for me every single week. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee. Wait,
Favorite
why did
ice
I
cream?
say that? I hate coffee. Oh my gosh. Okay. Uh, Definitely tea.
Definitely tea. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
We're off to a really good start. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Cookies and cream.
What is your go-to meal before or after snowboarding?
Rice.
Ooh, okay. Are you a night owl or an early bird?
A night owl.
Nice. What's your favorite place that your sport has taken you?
Um, Australia. Oh, I don't know.
Ooh, that's a good one. Wait a minute. Where'd you go in
I did like
Australia?
Australia. I was at a training camp.
Sick.
Yeah, it
So
was
fun.
so
See,
fun.
I'm also bad at this. Um, if you were not a professional snowboarder, what Olympic sport would you what would you want to be an Olympian in? What sport?
Pickleball, for
She's
sure,
manifesting
absolutely.
not just a two sport Olympic athlete, but also that a sport makes it into the Olympics. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. What is your favorite dessert?
Uh, Donuts.
Oh, good one. What's your flavor of donut? What's your favorite?
Just a normal glazed.
Normal glaze, classy. What is your dream vacation spot?
I love Hawaii. Oh no, I'm gonna change that Japan.
Oh,
Definitely
sick.
Japan.
Japan, what season is your favorite in Japan? Because I feel like
Winter.
even
I've
winter,
never
yeah.
gone, but I heard the powder there is insane.
I've seen the same. I think everybody's planning their Japan trip this year because it looks
Yeah.
nuts right now. Um, what is the best piece of advice you have ever gotten?
Hmm. Don't pre-spin.
Say that one more time.
Don't pre-spin.
Okay, so I think I know what that means, but maybe break it down for me.
Yeah, so when you're going off the jump, make sure you're going off very straight instead of sideways.
Girl, there's so much crossover between gymnastics and what you're doing because I got in trouble for that all the time. I would twist too early, and then like I always had the problem where my top half would go one way and then my bottom half would turn the other direction, and it was just I was a terrible spinner. I opted to train doubles instead of learning how to twist. So, what is the wildest mishap that has ever happened to you while snowboarding? Not talking like serious injury, but just like funny, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. Like, have we ever missed a chairlift or had a binding pop off or anything like a wild mishap?
Um, I have to say my snowboard touching the ground while I was on a chairlift.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, the
how'd that
chairlift
happen?
bounced.
Stop.
Yeah. It was pretty
Oh,
funny though.
oh my gosh. So the chairlift was bouncing high, like so high that your snowboard touched the ground.
Yeah.
Stressful. Very stressful. Did we have the bar down or like how did we stay in the chair?
Oh yeah. But I debated jumping, honestly.
You're like, I want off this ride. This is not
Yeah.
like I'll hike up the mountain. I'm good. Oh my gosh. Okay, Lily. And then the last question I have for you is this is the PowHERful podcast. We are all about highlighting powerful women in their sports and doing great things in the world. So, what does the word powerful mean to you?
Um, Definitely strong, but I feel like strong not just in your body, like in your mind. Like
I love that.
being very strong in your mind.
I love that. That's a good all-encompassing. Yeah, I agree with you. So awesome. Well, Lily, thank you so much for taking the time to join me among all of the World Cups, among the efforts to qualify for Italy next year. It's been so fun getting to know you a little bit more, and we're rooting for you. Good luck for the rest of the season, and hopefully see you in Italy
Yeah, thank you.
anytime. Thanks so much, PowHERful Pod Squad. We will be back next week. This is a reminder to check